Do you read me?
Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Haji. Do you read me? Over.
Pacho, this is Con Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower, Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. Say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah! Get some. Hurrah! What's going on, everybody? Another Baby Friday is upon us, or Friday Eve, as I like to also refer to it. So we are, getting ready to launch another show. Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty cool journey. As a matter of fact, next month we'll be hitting a year doing this podcast thing and this show, and it's because of people like you that I'm able to do this show. But before we get on and all that good stuff that the show is all about, how I like to start the show. This show is all about one, the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. So basically freedom, freedom of speech, as well as the right to bear arms. And we support all the great things that the Constitution has, does for this great nation of ours. So with that being said, if you like what you hear, make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow, share me around, and pass me around basically like a joint at a party. And tell your friends, as well as any supporters that may benefit from this great information. Also, the show is also great, brought to you by Castle Global Services. Castle Global Services is a great company. They have an abundance of great services. As a matter of fact, if you need healthcare, then you want affordable, good, low healthcare, check out Impact. Go to castleglobalservices.acnibo.com, and on the services tab, click on the residential, and you can see all the great services, and click on Impact. And you can find out more information. If you got any questions, you can go ahead and call an email, and then they'll be able to walk you through all the process. So, all right, we got all the good stuff, all the minutia stuff in regards to the show and sponsors out of the way. So, why are we set up this way instead of me just sitting down and talking to you, on whatever topic it is that we're talking about today? So, where one of the things that's very important to me, and I've hit on it on the past, is that we talked about nutrition and wellness, so on and so forth. So a lot of the times when I talk to some people about it, it's like, well, I don't know how to lead a healthy lifestyle, so on and so forth. Or I mean, some people might get offended about what I'm about to say. So, but some of my fellow counterpart Marines or post-active duty or fellow veterans, I mean, some of you motherfuckers look like you guys ate the PFC version of yourselves, and now you're like 2-3 times the size. I mean, let's be real. So, or you just became a food blister. The one thing that you despised when you were in, now you've become that. And unfortunately, as we get older, I just got done a medical health checkup. So I think this is a good thing to talk about, is that as some of us have gotten older, I mean, and I heard it before in the past, I can't wait to retire or get out. I'm not going to have to PT. I'm just going to get drunk and get fat and nasty and eat whatever I want. But let me tell you, that shit is going to lead to several other ailments that, as you get older, is going to shorten your life. And the best way I can say is, I can. And the question that I would ask you is, hey, do you want to see your grandkids, get older and have a family and have a full blown life and enjoy having you around? I think you do. I know I want to be around. So to me, and you heard me say it before, hashtag no dad bods. So I embarked. I've been on this way, I guess, on this better health to eating, wellness, and mindfulness for quite some time now. So anyways, so today we're going to talk about, how to eat better, and some tidbits that, if you're already doing it, great. I'm proud of you and I'm really happy for you. And if you haven't, then, you don't have to take everything that I'm saying as gospel. I hope that you are able to, it makes you, hopefully this will get you thinking and get you going in the right path. So abs are pretty much made in the kitchen. Some of you are gonna, again, so you're gonna disagree with what I'm saying, but studies have shown that, and even my cardiologist, basically abs are made in the kitchen. Yes, exercise, lifting weights, all that stuff, and PT every day, like the Marine Corps way, is all good and dandy, but and that's good for heart wellness, good lifestyle, and everything. But in reality, it has minimal impact on weight loss. It's a lot of times it's diet. It's about 80% diet. Exercise is just for maintenance and for heart wellness and so on and so forth. So if you don't believe me, I'm not a dietitian. Check with a dietitian. Check with a cardiologist. They'll be able, they'll pretty much tell you that that's pretty much it. So, anyways, so abs are made in the kitchen. So we're gonna go ahead and start out. I'm gonna show you my refrigerator. Some other things. We'll talk about some of those things that I got in there, and some other things, and then I'm just gonna show you how to make a really quick meal that's pretty easy to make, and that is pretty fulfilling. And other tricks that basically you don't have to eat the entire fucking kitchen, or grazing on snacks and stuff, but it's gonna help you basically, hopefully, get into a better lifestyle. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these things off, and I'm gonna show you my refrigerator. All right, so let's see how this works. And if you like, hey, by the way, if you like this show and what we're doing here today, I mean, I got plenty of other recipes that I do. As some of you may know, I am, I guess you could say, about 95%, 97% vegetarian. Sometimes I do, every once in a while, I'll eat fish for the omegas, and just to get just a little bit of, just that little bit of fat in me. But most of the time, I'm eating grass like a rabbit. So let's go check out the refrigerator. All right, here we go. Bam! Let's check out the fridge. All right, my friends. So as you can see right there, it's pretty basic refrigerator. So not a whole lot of processed stuff. So here's the rule of thumb. If it's frozen, pre-made, and in packages and stuff, it's not that good for you. I mean, eating really, really low moderation. So let me show you what I have here. Believe it or not, this is called natto bean, or stinky bean as they know it in Japan. This is actually called a superfood. It is great for your biodome and your stomach, and it's very nutritious, and takes a little bit of getting used to for those of you who are not into this type of stuff. But it is actually delicious. They sell it in black bean or regular. This it's kind of looks like a lima bean right over there. Behind here, I do have some fish cakes, which is basically some fish paste. It's already pre-made, so very high density, low density, high calories. So I have it every once in a while because it's already pre-made. But you see, I keep my bread in here. It's frozen. My bread lasts longer. And I have some frozen noodles. Again, these are already pre-made. You just udon noodles. They're delicious. My favorite type of Japanese noodle. But with pastas and such, especially white processed flour, you have to be careful with it and eat very sparingly. The best thing to recommend is wheat flour is what I highly recommend, and most nutritionists are going to recommend. And then you can see right here some frozen fish. This is good frozen fish. One of the things that lately a lot of people have been getting into this fad. I myself I'm not advertising for these folks, but you can see right here Impossible Food or Beyond Meat, all these companies. Hey, those are all great. Again, remember, that's made out of pea protein or plant-based protein. So things like that, you have to be careful and not really buy into it because, again, it is processed food. So we have to eat those sparingly. So don't try to eat an entire block of that Beyond Meat thinking, oh, yeah, I'm being healthy and stuff, when in reality, it's no bueno for you, ladies and gentlemen. And then my refrigerator right here, it's pretty basic. But you can see it's very colorful in the sense that not a whole lot of processed stuff. I mean, yes, I do have some ramen Japanese noodles, which I do love, by the way. But again, I eat those sparingly. You can see I have some yellow squash, or zucchini squash, some broccoli back in the back. I do, one thing that I do make a lot of is miso soup. Again, you could buy a lot of this stuff in a Japanese store or a Korean store, and then you could buy the different types of mushrooms. Don't and this is taps, everybody. The new addition to the family. Don't eat the dog. You cannot make the dog. I mean, some places they do, but here in the good old U.S. of A., we don't eat our pets and shit. And then you can see a lot of, again, a lot of stuff is bought in the Asian store. So you got some Chinese cabbage, some bok choy, some seafood, what they call seafood mushrooms. And Japanese mushrooms are just fantastic. So, and the texture is very meaty-like. So you can see right here, I make a batch of miso soup. It lasts me all week. I eat that for lunch at work. So, and then you can see some of the tricks that I do is a lot of fruit. If I have a sweet craving, excuse me, sir. If I have a sweet craving, I eat a lot of watermelon. You can see some tofu in the back, which is another meat supplement that I like to use. It's very delicious. And then eggs, some huevos. Huevos are delicious. They're great on omegas. And by the way, yes, you can eat, yes, the yolk does have cholesterol, but it's already been proven that you pretty much, in regards to the cholesterol piece, depending on if you're really, really high cholesterol, obviously that's a genetic issue and things that you have to work on. But basically what I'm saying is eat up. You're good to go. It's delicious. And obviously some avocado, some homemade guac that I make a lot of. And it's great. I use it as a butter substitute. So in the morning, I put two spoons of that stuff right there on my toast, and some huevos with some natto. Let me tell you, that's a good time right there waiting to happen. Some of the things that you can see right here, again, a little bit of less processed foods. Greek yogurt, fantastic right here. This is a lot. So if you want to replace I replace my mayonnaise with Greek yogurt. I like to use whole milk, and obviously it's got to be plain, because here's another thing. A lot of stuff that you see at the grocery store, it says, calorie free and all this stuff. That stuff is jam-packed with, stuff that is no bueno for you. Okay. So obviously, I like whole milk. It's basically straight out of the cow's titty. And I don't like the whole less fat and all that stuff, because again, you need that stuff in your body needs that stuff. So obviously I like the whole milk stuff. Obviously some salsa. You cannot have as much stuff as you want. And obviously your cheeses, those are kind of not red, but orangey items in the sense that, hey, you can have those, but sparingly, because they carry a lot of calories and, high density as well. So, and I love olives. Again, another good source of fat, along with your avocado and almond milk. Again, I try to watch my cholesterol quite a bit, because for me it's more a genetic deal, which is still a little high, even though I've lost a lot of weight. But so I try to cut as much across. Yes, the Greek yogurt I gotta have sometimes, independent on the food that I'm making. And club soda. Okay, that is this kind right here. Again, I'm not advertising for them. I'm just saying that this stuff is really, really good. So excuse me, sir. Excuse me. All right. All right, friends, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go ahead and move on to the pantry and such. And then we'll take a quick look, and then we'll move on to the cooking piece. All right. So again, we want to watch. Hang on, let me move on this cable. Again, anything that can stay in there for months at a time without going bad is not. Again, be careful and use sparingly. No, I'm not saying don't eat it, but again, you have to be careful with all this stuff, because obviously it's made chemically to last that long. So obviously canning is okay. If you want to save if you don't want your vegetables to go bad so quickly, that's the other alternative. Again, you want to get items like it says right here, no salt added, or low salt. That's another one. Another thing, obviously black beans, they tend to have, I buy low sodium type of stuff. Those are the things that I use. Your peanut butters, your almond butters, all that stuff. Again, you want to use this sparingly, because one thing, let's talk about a little bit right quick, and then we'll move on. We see this label right over here. The label says 180 calories. So its serving is 2 tablespoons. So 2 tablespoons of this stuff equals 180 calories. So now you're gonna add a slice of toast. A slice of toast. You gotta read. You gotta read them. You gotta read what's, what the actual bag says. So let's go ahead and, since I'm already doing this, let's go ahead for just shits and giggles. Let's see what the bag says. The bag says that one slice of toast over here is 110 calories. So you got 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and then now 110 calories. So that's 180 calories per 110. One slice, then now you're basically looking at 290 calories. See what I'm saying? Yeah, 180. 290. 290. I had to use my fingers and toes there for a second. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Condiments. Condiments is the other thing that I like to use. So I don't know what your political background is, so don't try to AOC me. No pun intended. Yeah. But let me tell you, no good Latin person will be in this house without having any Goya products. The seasoning is phenomenal. I like to use the one with pimienta. That's Spanish for pepper, but saffron. They make one with saffron. Obviously, oregano, basil, cinnamon is another thing, because and cumin. These are all things that make your food taste muy delicioso. So let me go ahead and set this back up here. I have to just look. All right. There we go. Oh, I think I'm cutting off a little bit of my cabeza. All right, everybody. So let's go ahead and start cooking. So obviously, you're going to go ahead and heat up your oven just a little bit. Put a little bit of olive oil, another great source of good omegas. 1 tablespoon of this stuff every day is delicious. When you're checking for for good olive oil, obviously you want to make sure that it has. I'm not gonna get the big bottle out, but obviously this stuff right here, it should be between, the acidity of this stuff should be between 0.3 to 0.8% acidity. And when you smell it, it should smell like fresh cut grass. You can do it. You put a little bit of tablespoon in your mouth and go and swish it around, suck in some air and swallow it. And you should have a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of kick to it. And that's how you know you got good olive oil going. So let me go ahead and fire up this bad boy right over here. Whenever it decides to light up. So we got the fire going. And then so today we're gonna make a little bit of salmon. So you saw a frozen bag of salmon in there. These things are really quick. You can actually stick it in water for about 5 minutes. It'll be thawed out. This is about 220 calories. And then we're gonna make, again, this can of green beans right over here. It's half a cup is serving. So this brings about 3.5 servings. So you're looking at about, 3 times 15, you're looking about 45 calories, the entire can. So you eat up, again, low sodium or no salt. That's what we're looking for. Again, we're trying to change our eating lifestyle. So we'll go ahead and get this stuff going. I'll go ahead and heat up the other one, so that way this will be for our salmon. So we need green beans, a little bit of salmon, and you can't forget the garlic, because I love garlic. As a matter of fact, by the time I'm done with this meal, I'll be able to kill a friggin' vampire and shit. So call me Blade with my breath and shit. Anyways, so as we're getting ready to do this stuff, so obviously we want to drain our veggies. Because obviously we don't want that stuff in here. So once they're all nice and drained, you want to swish around on your pan. Make sure that the oil, you want to get it nice and coated, nice and even. It helps if I turn on the other burner and shit. All right, there we go. If not, I'll be eating freaking sushi. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So obviously, I'll take out the salmon. Now, a lot of people would go ahead and actually wash the salmon. You don't want to do that too much. As I learned from watching cooking TV, basically you just grab a piece of paper towel and you pat it as such. Okay. So I think our oil is nice, and the way you know it's nice and hot is if it moves, kind of freely and thin on the pan. So that's how you know when you're ready. Or you could do a little garlic drop test on here. You hear that little crumbly. So remember, I like garlic. So why not? Go happy, go crazy, right? So put our garlic in here. So as far as measurement goes with the garlic, go happy. Do you, boo-boo. Then you're gonna grab your can of vegetables. Throw them bad boys right there. Same thing, our oil is nice and hot on the other side for the fish. So obviously, and then we're gonna use our Goya. Bam. And I highly recommend that you use Himalayan pink salt. It's really good. It's delicious. I like the crunch, and obviously some pepper. So put some Goya up in here, like I already said. And then you're just gonna throw this bad boy as it cooks. I like the skin on the salmon. A lot of people don't. So it all depends. I mean, I love like salmon skin roll, or and what's the other one? Or salmon skin hand roll. I like those too. So obviously, eat up as you like. So as you're moving this, you want to taste and make sure that it's all nice and good. One thing is that you can do a little bit of thermal like convection. So you can close the salmon like that, put the lid on it, and then this way the heat and the steam from the food actually is going to create a convection oven effect inside and help you cook faster. Okay. So as our green beans are cooking, one thing that is we're going to put a little bit of lemon juice and some Parmesan cheese on it. Again, use sparingly, but all right. We got this stuff going. Put a little bit of Goya. Told you I like Goya. A little bit. Can't forget the pepper and the Himalayan salt. Again, there's no measurements here. It's all up to taste. And if my wife is she's still working overseas, so obviously, I do a lot of cooking for myself. So it is what it is. All right. So while that other stuff is cooking, I want to lower the heat a little bit. There we go. And then lower the heat on this as well. Nope. All right. So one thing is that you want to get the green beans right here, everybody. You want to get the green beans kind of a little bit grouped together, kind of like a tight group at the rifle range. Make sure that you want a good BZO. And then you just put a little bit of cheese on here, like such. And you just cover that stuff up right there like that. Hopefully, good old taps over here doesn't knock the microphone. I mean, when we were doing the testing all this stuff earlier, he walked by and ripped the cable, and I just wanted to, crucify. Like, what are you doing, devil dog? Had to knife hand him a couple of times, but it is what it is. So obviously, while that's being made, again, you want to make sure that that your fish. You don't want to overdo the fish too much because salmon can be a little finicky, and so it may come out a little bit too dry. So obviously, you want to be careful with that. Now, one thing that I would say, some of you may not like fish. Again, remember me, I eat fish every once in a while. So that's what I like to get a little bit of my omegas, a little bit of meat. Because the bottom line is, a lot of people say, well, you're a vegetarian, you don't get a whole bunch of protein, blah, blah. Well, let me ask you this. What does a bull eat all day? Grass, all right? Yes, a cow has 5 freaking stomachs. I get that to process that stuff. But what does a gorilla eat all day? I mean, them dudes are like, super muscular. That's all they eat: grass, shoots, leaves, and all that shit. So, and we're actually, we're human beings. We're foragers. We forage on, nuts, berries, and all that stuff as we were, through our primal, as cavemen and so on and so forth. So there hasn't been, in regards to our gut, there hasn't been that much change for us since those times. So meat, we only ate meat when there was a kill or there was someone already dead, and basically we would gorge ourselves on all that shit because we didn't know when meat was going to be available again. All right, so let's go ahead and check how our salmon is doing. Okay, so you want to let me see if I get it right there. Yep, you want to make sure that, again, this is the garlic nice and caramelized, but you just want to make sure that it's cooked all the way through and it kind of flakes up like so. That's how you know your salmon is nice and well done. So, and then you want to check that, make sure that yummy, that you look at all that steam, baby, that your cheese is nice and melted. Again, you can use Parmesan cheese. I found another version at the supermarket that was actually 3 blend cheeses. It had Parmesan, mozzarella, and I forgot what the other one was, but it is phenomenal. So let's go ahead and serve this stuff up. Again, you can make this meal for your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, who that special individual, whoever it is. And again, just like you heard me earlier say that, hey, this right here is about a 5-ounce piece of salmon, and we're looking at about half a can of green beans with some cheese. Again, everything, there's no measurements here. Most of the time, I just basically do it up to taste. I'm tasting. You saw me wash my spatula once I tasted it, just to make sure that I'm in the right grade. I'm in the right zone. But well, let me get a utensil out and let's see what this stuff tastes like. And the piece de résistance, as they like to say in France. Holy cow! The green beans I like them a little lemony, a little tangy. It got a little kick to the motherfuckers. But it's very good. Again, it's a very tasty meal, very low calories. So you're looking about this piece of salmon right here is about, I think it's about 220 calories. And then you got again, one serving is half a can of green beans. So this is about half a cup. I'm sorry, it's about, I would say, a cup right here. So I'm looking at about 30 calories. Plus the cheese, I think, here, I got the cheese measurement right here. So we're looking at about a quarter of a cup So I put about half a cup of cheese in there. So let's just say that there's a serving right here of a quarter of a cup, and that is 110 calories. So 220, 30 calories, 110. We're looking at 230, less than 300 calories for this entire meal right over here. So very good. Let's try the fish. Bon. I don't want to say it tastes good because I cooked it, but goddamn, this is good. It tastes pretty good. It's not too flaky. It's just made, it's made pretty. It's okay. It's good. So it's delicious. Now, imagine if you put a little bit of guacamole, a little bit of avocado on here. You have now that's a good time. So, and you can wash it all down with club soda. They make them in orange, lemon, lime, all kinds of good stuff, and it's pretty healthy. You want to trick yourself if you find yourself later. Sorry, my dog is kind of crossing around here. If you find yourself kind of hungry later on at night, don't start going after snacks, chips, Doritos, this, that. That's called foraging, or basically you're raging the entire kitchen. One good trick is that grab some baby carrots and snack on those, because again, when your brain hears the crunch sound, it automatically makes that we're getting full. So after 5-10 little carrots, you're actually gonna be full. So that's one trick. If you want something sweet, pop some watermelon. Have one wedge or buy already the one that's already cubed from the supermarket. That's about $4. It's not again, eating. You can eat healthy on a budget. So it just takes a little bit of time in regards to you doing the homework and what it is that you want to accomplish. But again, it all starts in the kitchen, and what is it, with the ass, and what is it that you want to do and put inside your body, because you want to last longer. You want to be one of those guys. Again, it's already been medically proven that yes, you can have the genetics for heart disease or for whatever. It's what you do and the environment that you can trigger all those things. So if you do good things, then hey, no harm, no foul. You can bypass, your family lifelines. So, so pretty much, if you got any questions about, and I'm putting my cans back on because obviously we're winding down. But if you have any questions, DM me on Facebook. You put a comment right there, as well as on YouTube, or message me as well on the field app, and I'll be able to answer your questions. One thing is that I have an avocado tree. I mean, and this thing just like spits out avocados like crazy. So if you DM me and you pay for the shipping, which I think it was about $5. I mean, I'll be more than glad to send you a couple of green avocados, but it should take about 3 days to get to your location. By the time they get there, they may be already ripe. There's two different kinds. There's the Haas and there's a thin paper one. So my tree is thin paper. It's a little bit sweeter than your Haas avocado, but that's my favorite. Not to insult people who are in California. I know you guys, you folks over there preach about the Haas, but hey, it's just my choice. That's what I grew up with. So, but if you've been struggling, as we're getting really close, and before I pop out, if you've been struggling with ruminating thoughts, sadness, depression, anxiety, all those things that you just find yourself going into a dark path, reach out to me. Let's talk about it. Let's get you out of that hole. I may send you a friggin' avocado to make you happy. I don't know, but the bottom line is, call on your buddy, lean on your support system, or hey, if you haven't heard from one of your friends, do a buddy check and reach out to them. I think it's important. Let's not do push-ups. Let's not walk 22 fucking miles. None of that shit. How about let's just keep each other alive and kicking, and so that way we're kicking ass and taking names whenever the friggin' aliens decide to take over. So with that being said, I think it's a great place to end this. So hoorah, get some, and I will see you next time, folks. Ciao.